Hello, Richard Beach here from sonicstate.com/amped, that's Sonic State's guitar channel, and I'm with Brian Wampler and Tom Quayle, and I want to talk to them about the new Wampler pedal, which is the Dual Fusion, which incorporates two previous Wampler pedals into one sexy new pedal. So, Brian, first if I can come to you, can you tell us about the origins of the pedal and how it came about?
Well, Tom was actually using the Euphoria and the Paisley Drive, and he's using them in a certain way to get the tone that everybody loves.
Yeah.
People would ask him, you know, how are you getting these tones, and he was explaining them what he was using, and talking to Tom, he's like, you know, if you could just change this about this pedal and change this other stuff about the Euphoria, it would be perfect. So I said, you know what we should do? Let's just do it. You know, let's make everything that you want in a pedal exactly how you want it, put it out there.
So, Tom, how involved were you in the design process then?
Yeah, basically, when they were designing the pedal, I wanted something that would work with a loop-based system, and I used a big pedal board. And with Brian, basically, I think I caused you a bit of a nightmare, possibly, with the switching system. But ideally, what we wanted was both of the pedals, the Euphoria and the Paisley Drive, on both sides. But I had this thing in my mind, and Jason from Wampler as well had this thing in our minds of we really wanted to be able to switch really easily between the two sides of the pedal and stack them together. So that side of things really was, we kind of came up with and made Brian's life a misery while he tried to figure out how to do that. But the actual kind of overdrive sides of the pedal, I'd already kind of found the Euphoria and the Paisley and really, really liked those sounds. So that side of things, I would hate to tell Brian what to do. I mean, this man is a genius as far as tone goes. So really, that side of things I left up to Brian, and he sent me through the prototype, and immediately I was just blown away. I mean, it really does just sound like an amp. I'm running it through a clean amp, and the way it responds to pick dynamics and the overdrive that's there, it never muddies up. So realistically, I didn't ever need to tell Brian I need this changing or I need this doing. He just kind of seems to be in my head and know exactly what I want from a pedal. So it's been really, really easy, really amazing.
Okay, great. And there's some interesting features in terms of changing the signal path.
Yeah.
And you've also, is there two inputs and two outputs? Is that correct?
Two outputs. So it's basically, it functions as two individual overdrive pedals. You can actually run it, if you can probably see on the sides here, we've got two inputs, one for each channel. Now you can actually run it with just a standard kind of go into one, come out of two and stack the pedals that way. But the way I'm running it is basically I used each drive pedal individually, and then using a looping system I can switch between them independently on the looper. But the routing options that are available are amazing. I mean, for instance, you could run into one, come out of one, go into a load of other pedals, create a crazy signal chain if you wanted, come back into two, come out of two to the amp, or you can run into two first and then go into one. And because it's all analog, there's no digital switches or anything in there. That was something Brian was really adamant about. We don't want any digital switching going on or anything. The tone remains really pure. There's no clicks or pops or anything going on when you change between them. And there's a lot of flexibility. You can stack one into two or two into one. It's really crazy how versatile this thing is. It's amazing.
So great. How long have you had to play with it then?
I got it about a week and a half before coming out to NAMM, and it got played for a week and a half, almost non-stop. I was really so blown away with it. So I've had quite a bit of time to play with it and run it through my Port City Pearl amp that I use, and I mean, I really couldn't be happier. It's such a good pedal.
Great. It certainly looks really interesting, and when you were playing it earlier as well, it sounded great. So, when is the pedal available? Is it coming out now?
We're shooting for an early March release on it.
Early March, okay. And do you have a rough idea of US retail price?
I think it's going to be right around the 240, 250. As of right now, it's going to be in that neighborhood.
So for essentially two pedals in one, it's pretty cool.
Amazing. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks for watching at home, guys, and thanks to Brian and Tom for chatting to us. Cheers.